The following announcement is brought to you by the Xtreme World Order.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, soldiers of the Xtreme, hello and welcome back to That Xtreme Wrestling channel. My name is Samson, I am the Xtreme Gaming Guru, back again, bringing you guys an explanation of the WWE 2K24 gameplay balancing sliders. I get a lot of questions on my sliders videos asking me exactly what all these menu options mean, what does this slider mean, what do I have to adjust to make it so they don't constantly kick out of my finishers. Well, I'm going to try and help answer those questions in this video. Hopefully it's going to be a quick one. I'm not going to go over in detail every single menu option here. I'm just going to go over the ones that I think are a little bit more difficult to understand, I guess, and hopefully bring a little bit of clarity to those. But yeah, starting off right away, difficulty. This obviously affects the overall difficulty of the game. It's going to make the pin system a little bit harder. It's going to make the submission escapes a little bit harder. It's going to bring the reversal windows and make them a little bit tighter. What it's also going to do is it's going to allow the AI to make a little bit more decisions. So as you're playing on easy or normal, you're going to find that the AI just kind of stands around and lets you do whatever you want for the most part. But as you start moving to hard and legend, that's when the AI starts making decisions. You start getting those dynamic matches. It's a little bit more unpredictable. So that's a little bit of an explanation of the difficulty setting there. Now, next one I want to cover is the pin minigame first count lock after finisher. Now, you only have to worry about this if you use the time pin minigame. If you use the button mashing, you don't have to worry about it. But for all those people that complain that Roman Reigns is kicking out at the count of 1 after you just hit him with a finisher, this is what you're going to want to turn on. This makes it so you can't even engage with the pin minigame until after the referee has counted 1. So if you hate it when the people kick out after 1 and you're getting frustrated, turn this on. Now, next one I want to talk about, auto reversal for ground attacks. If you get spammed on the ground, or if you like to spam the AI and just stop and make it so they can't get up, if you have trouble reversing that kind of situation, this is something you're going to want to turn on. This is going to make it so the AI will automatically reverse for you after, I think it's about 3 consecutive attacks. So that's always a good one to know. Next one, let's see here. All these are pretty much self-explanatory. Presentation, everything is pretty much self-explanatory here. The only thing I do want to say, turn off the superstar HUD. You don't need it, guys. You really don't need it. It is way too much information. It just ruins the match. Now, I get a lot of people asking, well, if I turn off the superstar HUD, how do I know if I have a signature or a finisher? Well, the quick solution for that is to keep this turned on, the control help and match ratings HUD. If this is turned on, it's going to show the match ratings in the top left hand corner, the little star ratings, but it's also going to let you know when you have a signature or finisher when you're standing in the proper position. You'll get the little icon saying you have a signature or finisher, and also let you know when you can do dirty pin and stuff like that. But other than that, everything else here is pretty much self-explanatory, I think. Although post-match replay, why is this always off on default? I really wish they would work on the post-match replays to make it really capture those badass moments in the matches, because right now it's just kind of random. But yeah, anyways, put a little work on that 2K. But moving on, the meat and potatoes of the matter here. This is where you really get to customize WWE 2K24. If you find that the AI is reversing all of your combos, or if you find that they're not reversing enough of your finishers, this is the menu you want to come to kind of adjust the game to play how you like it. So the first little set here is how often the AI is going to reverse specific instances. So in this instance, it's how often the AI is going to reverse your standing strikes, and so on and so forth. Next up here, we have how often the AI is going to go for specific situations. So in my case, I'm not a big fan of springboards. I find a lot of the springboards to be absolutely annoying. They home in on you and it just drives me insane. Some of them are super hard to reverse. So I like to turn it a little lower. Other things like I'm not a big fan of ground strikes getting reversed. I don't like watching the wrestlers just slide, like roll out of the way all the time. So I like to turn my AI ground reversal super low, so it lets me get some stomps in, and things like weapons. Like I'm a big fan of hitting people with chairs, so I turn my AI reversal sliders for weapons down super low. That way, I can hit people with weapons. But other than that, like I said, this is pretty much the menu where you want to customize everything. The next set here, basic reversal windows. This is for you, so this is the amount of time you have to actually reverse these moves. If you have difficulty reversing finishers or reversing ground attacks or anything like that, feel free to turn these slider closer to the 100. That's going to make it so you have more time to hit that button. And yeah, pretty simple. Rollout frequency, you see this a lot in multi-man matches. After a certain amount of damage, you always inevitably roll to the outside of the ring. This is just closer to 100. You're going to roll out more often. Closer to 0, you're going to roll out less often. Stay in that action. And rollout duration is how long you're going to stay out there when you do roll out. Any other ones here that I think I need to worry about? Maybe vitality regen cooldown. This is how long you have to prevent yourself from taking damage before your vitality starts to regenerate. So closer to 100, the longer it's going to take of you having to go on the offensive before your vitality begins to regenerate. And then the next one down is how quickly it's going to regenerate once it starts regenerating. Pretty simple. This one causes a lot of confusion, but this is a good one to know if you want people to stay down for like realistic finishers and stuff like that. So post kickout damage recovery, player and AI. This is the amount of damage that you are going to retain after a successful kickout. So normally in WWE 2K24, when you kick out of a pin, you get a little bit of a boost to try and get you back into the match. It takes a little bit of your damage off, maybe fixes your stamina, gives you a little bit more stamina, a little bit more momentum, stuff like that. And this is going to make it so you kind of get less of a boost and you're going to retain more of the damage. So it makes it more of a realistic feel. The higher the number, closer to 100, the more damage they're going to retain, so the less of a boost they're going to get. Closer to 0, the less damage they're going to retain. So when you start getting closer to 0, that's when you're going to find that you have to hit like 4, 5, 6 finishers before you can like actually pin an opponent for a successful 3 count. It can get pretty difficult. AI difficulty damage scaling. This is another one that causes some confusion. This is basically how much damage the AI will inflict or receive. As you move it closer to 100, you'll find that the AI causes a lot more damage than you do, and it receives a lot less damage than you do. If you move it closer to the 0 number, you're going to find that you do a little bit more damage to the AI than it can do to you, and you take less damage from the AI. So it's a good way to kind of make the game a little bit more difficult. If you make it so the AI hurts you a lot more than you can hurt it, well, that's automatically a little bit more difficult now, isn't it? Now, next one's pretty much self-explanatory. Targeting, pretty much self-explanatory. I think we pretty much all understand the advanced pin minigame settings here, but in case you're new, this is how difficult the pin minigame is going to be after you take a finisher. This is after you take 1 finisher, after you take 2 finishers, after you take 3 finishers, and then of course the same thing with the signatures. Every time you take a pin, you get locked into one of 3 damage categories in WWE 2K24, either low damage, medium damage, or heavy damage. And then if you get pinned after a finisher, you also get an extra little difficulty setting because obviously you just got hit with a finisher. So this is what controls the difficulty of pins after a finish. And of course the same thing with the AI down here. Next up, the timed pin minigame. This is for all the people out there that have trouble with the timed kickouts. I know it can get pretty difficult. I've been putting in my training. But if you do, this is where you want to go and kind of adjust that to get the game more suited for you and make it so you can actually get those 5-star matches because you don't get pinned after 30 seconds. Good way to do that. First one's here, like I said, pin system broke into 3 different difficulty: easy, moderate, difficult, or low damage, medium damage, high damage. So there you go. You have to adjust them specifically for each situation there. But the indicator flag speed is the little white flag that goes side to side during your kickout. The kickout zone size is the green bar that you have to stop the white flag in, and the kickout zone speed is how fast the actual green kickout zone goes back and forth. So if you want to make it easier, you can turn down the flag speed, you can increase the kickout zone size, and then you can decrease the kickout zone speed for all three damage settings, pin settings, and then you'll find that even you can compete with legend difficulty. Moving on, submission minigame. This is just basically how much of the bar fills up for every successful button press, or how much it decreases for every unsuccessful button press. So, adjust it accordingly. I like to be locked into long submissions, so that's why I have it set up as I do. But attacker cancel threshold. This is after you've been in a submission for a bit, you can usually cancel out of a submission. Like if you're finding that the guy's just not tapping out and you want to keep the upper hand, you can usually cancel out of the submission and then, continue to lay in a stomp. This is going to make it so after you've been in a submission for a certain amount of time, you won't be able to cancel out. So then you're locked in that submission, and if they get out, then they're probably going to get the upper hand and take the offense. So, there you go. And then special guest referee. I think this is pretty much straightforward. I think you guys know what these sliders mean. If you don't, let me know in the comment section below. Any of the options that I skipped over, feel free to ask me in the comment section, and I'll try and let you know at least as much as I know. Anyways, guys, this was a little bit longer than I was anticipating. I thought this was going to be a quick one. But I guess I just started rambling with my words there. But hopefully in that ramble, you found, the answers you were looking for. Maybe you understand the gameplay balancing sliders in WWE 2K24 a little bit more. And if you do, feel free to let me know in the comment section below what kind of sliders you set up. Let me know what kind of numbers you're putting up there, because I can only, give you my opinion as far as realistic sliders and stuff. So I really want to know what you guys are doing out there in the sliders world. Other than that, feel free to hit the like button with a 2 sweet, subscribe if you're new, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye and good night. Bang. 2 sweet, guys. 2 sweet.